Stop your divide and rule antics. Niger Delta elders tackle Buhari regime over release of pay slips given to amnesty leaders. Stakeholders from the 9 states of the Niger Delta region have warned the presidency against deliberate antics to divide and instigate crisis within the region by releasing documents capable of causing confusion and bloodshed. According to stakeholders made up of ex-militant youths, women and elders from the region, the decision by the presidency to release bulk payment details to ex-militant leaders over amnesty stipends is childish and a mischievous attempt at inciting ex-militants against each other in the region. The stakeholders, in a statement issued in Yenagua, signed by Commander Joseph Onyekuro, despite the weak attempt by the presidency, said the people of the region are aware that the ex-militant leaders have always received bulk payments and in turn distributed the funds to thousands of members within their various camps to maintain the peace and stability in the region. According to the statement, the payments done by the presidency was to enable the federal government and the multinational oil companies to explore oil and natural gas worth billions of dollars annually from the Niger Delta region, which accounts for over 90% of Nigeria foreign exchange earnings over 50 years. Rather than shielding the names of the sponsors of terrorists from the public, the stakeholders called on the presidency to do the same and release the names and sponsors of Boko Haram, the Islamic State of West Africa province, terrorists and bandits that to this day have continued to maim, kill and displace tens of thousands of innocent men, women and children without any resistance from the presidency. According to the stakeholders, on July 21st, 2015, the federal government obtained a $2.1 billion credit from the World Bank to rebuild the northeast zone devastated by the jihadist group Boko Haram. President Muhammadu Buhari announced this in Washington, D.C., United States. The presidential initiative for the Northeast started in 2015 with a World Bank loan of $2.1 billion, which is over 700 billion naira, with 105,000 alleged beneficiaries from the North, while Niger Delta Amnesty Program that generates the resources for the entire nation is only 30,000 beneficiaries with 65 billion naira annually. On the 24th June 2020, Sahara reporters published an article about President Buhari's nephew Sabiu Yusuf's fat bank account that shocked the CBN governor. Sabiu reportedly said the billions in his account are gifts from people. But why didn't he get such gifts when he was a recharge card seller prior to 2015? Accepting gifts for favors done while occupying a privileged government position while he's Buhari's private secretary and de facto chief of staff is against the law. According to the Central Bank of Nigeria, Nigeria's revenue generated from sales of oil and gas in the Niger Delta region between 1999 and 2016 alone amounts to 77.348 trillion naira. Specifically, data compiled from the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) showed that Nigeria earned 77.348 trillion naira from the oil and gas industry from 1999 to 2016. This report only takes into account a 17-year period out of the over 50 years. Northerners, as majority owners of oil wells and oil blocks in communities across the Niger Delta region, while these anthracite gold mines and revenues from sales are recorded as private businesses. We must not forget that without the amnesty agreement in place under the leadership of President Umar Musa Yar'Adua, Nigeria would have gone bankrupt. The federal government must not play with fire. They must understand that there are billions of dollars in foreign investment in the Niger Delta region, with lots of foreign interests given their multi-billion dollar assets which are strategic to their national security interests. Any attempt by the federal government to use their old divide and rule to or conquer tactics to destabilize the Niger Delta region in order to continue its exploitation of our God-given resources will be resisted by all means necessary, and any political dialogue with the United Nations and other international organizations will require a minimum of 1 million amnesty beneficiaries to be trained and empowered. Okay, so this was very much informative, especially when it got to the numbers. I mean, from 1999 to 2016, just seeing how much the Niger Delta region has accounted for literally 90% of, Nigeria's foreign exchange, revenue. And it's just like, wow. And to think how they're cheated in terms of, because apparently, let me even go back, with 105,000 beneficiaries, 105,000 beneficiaries for a loan from the World Bank, which is literally 700 billion naira, and only 30,000 beneficiaries were from for Niger Delta. Wow. And it's like the amnesty, wow. Basically, in conclusion, this just elaborates and shows how Niger Delta is being cheated and exploited. In fact, I think a word that would be best to describe what is going on with the exploitation, I think the best word, very much graphic, very much intense, but I think they're literally being raped of their resources. And this it justifies everything. It justifies the fact that they should be angry, they should be upset. And so it's good that they realize this stop, they realize the divide and rule antics. I mean, of course, that has been going on for so many years. So yeah, I mean, call the government out, call them out, because there is no excuse as to why Nigeria is not a world-class top country. There is no excuse. Put what you think, and don't forget to like and subscribe.